You know, like, speaking of things that are perfect in this movie, everything.
Everything.
Except for
Thumper. Except for Thumper. Everything except for Thumper.
Thumper has just one issue that I can think of. Two issues that I can think of.
I was going to say, come on.
Thumper does not have more than 3 issues that I can think of at this given time.
And we're going 3. Going once, right. Going twice.
Sold.
Anyway.
So, but yeah, no, the characters are pretty perfect. Do you mind if I tell everybody a little bit about the characters?
Oh, go on. Hop right in there.
I certainly plan to hop. So, I'm gonna do these top 10 characters in order of their appearance. Starting with Friend Owl. You remember Friend Owl, right?
I do. He is literally me.
Yeah, sleepy, cranky, but friendly. He's your curmudgeonly, lovable grandpa who gives you the talk for some reason.
Because no one else is going to, because you have no parents and your mom's dead.
Your mom's dead and your dad is absent. Owl is more involved in Bambi's life than the great prince of the forest is involved in Bambi's life.
Yep.
So, with that as a role model example, it's entirely possible that Friend Owl is going to be more involved in the lives of Bambi's kids than Bambi is.
True, unless he dies.
Mm-hmm. I hope he does not. Well, you know, I mean, he only has to live another year.
That's true. I think owls have a really long life expectancy, too, like compared to other forest animals.
Is that why he's a grandpa?
I think so.
Yeah.
Or maybe because owls are supposed to be like the wise old owl.
Yeah, wise old owl. The next character is the mouse that washes his face with a little bead of dew.
I love that he's you went in your top 10.
Yeah. I honestly couldn't think of a 10th character, so I just wanted to remind you of how cute it was when that little mouse woke up from his nest, grabbed a drop of dew, and washed his face with it.
I know, he's so cute. He washes his little hands. He's adorable.
Totally precious. He runs from the rainfall. He hides under mushrooms. He's there. He's there enough to be mentioned.
I want him instead of Mickey Mouse. Can we make that happen?
I mean,
can he be Ricky Mouse?
He can be. No, we can have him as Friend Mouse.
Friend Mouse. Okay.
Friend Mouse.
Sure.
Friend Owl, Friend Mouse, Friend Mole, Friend Pheasant.
Sure.
Friend Huntsman. Our next character is Thumper. You often hear about the candor of children, and some wonder what that means. Well, it's Thumper. It is Thumper's literal defining trait. He calls it like it is, no matter who he calls it to, even the newborn prince of the forest. He's always talking shit about people, is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
Grows up to be the ultimate Chad.
Stop. Stop. You... Nope. Nope.
Okay. Bambi's mom is next.
Oh, Mrs. Bambi.
Mrs. Bambi. She's the ultimate Disney property maternal organism, as she exhibits all of the ideal Disney brand maternal traits. Patient, gentle, kind, and dead.
You told me that before, but I still love the punchline.
It's a good punchline.
And most importantly, dead.
She imparts much gentle wisdom onto Bambi and, by proxy, onto us. Bambi. I've consulted with the top scientists and art critics in the modern day, and all of us concur. Bambi is baby.
Yeah.
Certified
baby.
Birth, adolescence, adulthood, he's baby all the way down.
Yep.
Real talk, though, Bambi is an incredible character specifically because he's baby. He is, and this is where I break away from jokes for just a little bit. He's always learning. Everything he sees, he learns from, and he changes his behavior in subtle ways to accommodate as his worldview is shaped before our eyes. He learns from his friends, from his family, from his enemies, and he learns faster and easier than anyone else we've seen in any Disney movie yet in this podcast. I love him, and I would kill for him.
Aww.
However, he also grows up to be the ultimate Chad.
Yes, he does. Chad of the forest.
Chad of the Forest. From one Chad to another, let's hear it for the great prince of the forest.
Yeah, that's
One could
good.
say that he teaches Bambi, and by proxy the audience, endurance, perseverance, courage, and leadership. One could also say that he's a deadbeat dad who spent much of his son's formative months avoiding him until he could no longer ignore him and had to take custody. One could get deep into the body language of the roe deer or white-tailed deer that were studied to create Bambi and his father, and dissect the scene where Bambi meets him for the first time and the great prince turns his ears towards him, which in deer talk explicitly means attentiveness, and say that he was always watching from afar, that he's always been involved in a subtle way. Instead of that, I'm just going to say what we're all thinking. How come he's a red deer and not a white-tailed deer? My mom says they're a multiracial family, and honestly, I support that.
Okay, but the roe deers aren't in America. They're not American. They were roe deers in the book, but they're mule deers in the
Oh my god, I wrote that down wrong. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Because
roe deer don't have tails.
The roe deer are the red deer, the mule deer are the white-tailed deer.
Yes.
And that one little goof up, and I said that all so well.
You did. Let's learn about deer, my friends.
Hey, let's learn that Nate doesn't know how to read.
This week in deer biology class and also reading class. It's okay. It's confusing.
Let's move on to Flower.
We're not deer experts, okay?
No, we're not experts in anything.
Nope.
The next character is Flower. I just need a minute, sorry.
Are you crying over Flower?
No, all of these characters are, like, as much as I make jokes about them, all of these characters, like I said, they're just really good, like, all the way down to their core.
Mm-hmm.
And except for the last two, but you know, like even them, like there's something there. There's something more interesting, and I'm struck by it. You know, this really is the best thing that Disney put out.
Yeah.
So Flower, right? At the beginning of Bambi is this wonderful moment where when you think you've met the kindest, sweetest, gentlest character in Bambi, you meet someone easily twice as pure.
This baby says, "Hold my flower."
Yeah, Flower is no exception at all, as he seems to exist only to be gentle and friendly. He's baby. He's more baby than Bambi, and Bambi is literal baby. Yet another one of Bambi's best buds to grow up to be the ultimate Chad, though.
Stop! He does not! Oh my gosh, he's the Chad.
Oh.
They're like the respective Chads of their species.
They are. They're like, they become the pinnacle, because like the first thing they do when they find out like, oh, girls are gonna be into you, the first thing they do is like immediately find out that girls are into them.
Yeah. We'll get into that.
I'm excited.
I'm not excited.
The next character is also Feline. An excitable young girl who has no qualms about being outgoing to the point of pushing around royalty. Iconic.
Yes.
Every time we see her, she's having the time of her life.
She's a deer, by the way, for anybody who didn't know.
She is a deer. Flower is
DEER. Like, not...
Oh.
But she's also a deer. A deer girl.
I thought you were pointing out that I've been forgetting to say the species of every character.
No, yeah, I was, but I forgot that you didn't say the flower was skunk. But yeah, so she's another mule deer.
She's another mule deer, not a roe deer.
Yes.
There's only one roe deer,
and not a reindeer.
There's no reindeer. I wish there were reindeer.
Yeah, I do too. Though there are the sounds of like bells ringing whenever the bucks are jumping over that Pride Rock.
Oh yeah, that's right. I suppose now is as good a time to mention in Fantasia, one of my observations was, hey, that looks like Pride Rock. I bet they got inspiration watching that. And then in Dumbo, when when the crows are pushing Dumbo off the ledge to help him fly, I'm like, oh shit, that looks like Pride Rock.
Also Pride Rock.
And meanwhile, 3 movies in a row, out in the middle of a meadow, in the middle of nowhere, there's just a jutting rock, and I'm like, oh no, that's Pride Rock. So,
there's yeah.
I'm real good at observing things.
There's more than one Pride Rock that we see in this movie.
I guess Pride Rock is maybe the ultimate combination of the Disney ideal of put a jutting rock in there.
It's important characters standing on top of a rock looking heroic.
Yeah, and then they made a whole movie out of that.
And then they made like, yeah, arguably 2 movies about that. Actually 3, because you have Little Mermaid.
Is there a rock involved in that?
Yeah, it's the one where she crawls her fish body up on the rock, and then there's like a wave that crashes, and she's like, part of your world.
Oh god, yeah.
It's like the most popular, like most famous image in Little Mermaid.
I think we got so distracted by this that I stopped in the middle of my description of Feline.
You did. Because rock. Anyway, go on.
Okay. Feline, excitable young deer who has no qualms about being outgoing to the point of pushing around royalty. Iconic. Every time we see her, she's having the time of her life. Well, when she's not being hunted by a pack of dogs. Mm-hmm. We see her only a few times, but her scenes are poetry. Sheer poetry in motion. The man who shot Bambi's mom. Remember when I said I would kill for Bambi? This is who I would kill on behalf of that baby boy. I don't care. I don't care if he's hunting for food, for his family, to feed his sick mother. Every hunting game I've ever played has you automatically lose points or outright lose if you shoot the doe, even by accident.
That's a good point. That really is.
Yeah, you're not supposed to shoot the doe.
Yeah.
His theme song literally inspired the iconic Jaws theme. He's villain the villain. He doesn't appear on screen. And the AFI, American Film Institute, did 100 top villains for the first 100 years of film. He was number 20.
We don't even see him once. We don't hear him speak.
He doesn't have a face. He doesn't have a design. He's just some jerkwad who shot Bambi's mom, and I hate him.
Yep.
You know who else I hate?
Who do you hate?
A character that I had to literally go into like Wikipedia to find the name of, and I had to append to his name Ronno the asshole stag.
Oh no. Ronno. That's a better name than I came up with. Mine was just like evil boyfriend number 7.
Evil boyfriend number 7. Because you don't get a name in the movie, he's just it's a tough thing to say that he's an asshole stag, because he's just defending his territory out of instinct. He's doing what comes natural to deer. But, he doesn't say a damn thing to Bambi to get him step off. He just starts shoving, and then just starts shoving Feline.
He just starts
like an asshole.
Shoving and grunting and just like, speak! Like, we know that the deer can speak.
Say something to Bambi.
Say something. Though I do kind of like that, though, because it's like, it kind of makes you remember, like, oh yeah, these are animals.
That's true.
And that's something that stags do. Like, it's not just, like, with Bambi's father, for instance, it's like, yeah, his father isn't around, but, like, that's literally how deers are. Like, they're not supposed to be. In fact, he's actually around more often than male adult deers are for their kids. So it's, like, kind of a reminder.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting.
He's a better father than I gave him credit for.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I have a crackpot theory about that.
Ooh.
But yeah, Ronno the asshole stag.
It's a good name.
He would be another one. He would be another like Onceler. No, he wouldn't be Onceler. He would be I don't know, like.
Oh God, he'd be like when they do humanizations of Shadow the Hedgehog.
Stop! No. Oh no, of
Nothing
Knuckles.
Personnel, kid.
No, of Knuckles.
Oh, knock. It's Ronno.
It's Ronno. No, you're right. It would be Shadow, because Knuckles is more like.
Yeah. Knuckles
himbo.
Is at least friendly to Sonic.
He's himbo. Yeah.
Himbo. Yeah, this is not Himbo. This is 100% pure jock.
Rano is Sasuke. 100%. 100%.
That's the most cursed thing that has come out on this podcast. You understand?
I do understand. It's I think the images that I saw, the fan art that I saw, fully processed, and that's what came, shooting out.
Oh man. That's more than enough.
All right.
That's my top 10 characters from Bambi.
Okay. I like that.